All right, what up, y'all? It's been a while, so I'm actually gonna jump on here. I'm gonna do something completely different. I'm gonna try and test the waters because I've had a lot of people ask me about trading and what it's like and all the things that go into it. Now, this isn't by any means an educational video. It's more like tips, recommendations, things that has to do with the mental first before I jump into anything more. Because if this actually becomes something, there's people who actually like it, then I may break it down into something more like, hey, how I chart everything up. Like I'm not gonna be the gatekeeping on this. What worked for me might not even work for you. You know what I mean? And not to mention on top of that, like it's a lot more to it. So I've been trading for 9 years, going on 10 here. It took me about a year 6 to be profitable. I've been funded from different accounts. I've been funded from different funded people, whatever it is. I've blown multiple accounts. I've also lost all my money in an account, you know what I mean, like from one of the funded accounts. So I've done it all. I've been through it. I try to stay transparent about it. I've had a good year, bad year. I had a really bad year, and then a really, really good year. And then now just being consistent and still continuously growing and understanding like, hey, this is going to be compounding and taking time, right? Of course, we all want the big withdrawals, but it's going to take time and consistency. Again, by no means am I at some of the levels that anyone's at, but I'm just giving you my experience of where it is. And again, on top of that, if you know me, you know that I will give credit to those that have helped me through this and make this journey to get to this point. But besides that, if there's enough interest, I'll make this more into like a deeper video, into a pod, or either I keep doing these videos if there's interest in it. Now, for some of you, I can see, hey, yes, I got a new look going, new face, all these things, whatever. I ended up shaving off some of this stuff. But besides that, all right, so getting into this really quick because I don't want it to be super long. It's going to be a quick Instagram video, reel, whatever it is. I'm actually floating in a trade in gold cells right now. We'll see how this plays out. Now, understand that trading is going to be mental. It's going to be a lot of mentality. It's going to be 80% mental. And I know that's just obvious. A lot of people preach it, but what does that actually mean? First of all, your psychology is going to get tested. Your health's going to get tested. And I'm not going to lie, your sleep is going to get tested, and your sanity and everything about it. This comes with a high price point where you have to understand that this is something that some people really do get in 2 to 3 years, and other people don't get it till a long time in the year. Again, I started before this was even like a known thing. Like everyone associated with trading with an MLM kind of thing. And let's separate those things. Maybe that's a conversation for a different day. But I have to give kudos because that's how this was introduced to me, and understanding that, hey, this was a good opportunity. I still think trading is a really good opportunity for a lot of people if you have the right mental, but you have to understand you've got to know yourself. It's going to really test who you are. If you have anger, gambling problems, all this kind of stuff, look, I suggest you just stay away, clear from this kind of stuff, because this isn't something that happens overnight. Again, staying consistent is going to be one thing, and not just that, getting ahead of yourself, and don't get fooled by the flashy lifestyle that's all over the place when it comes to trading, because some of it is off of courses. I don't have a course. I'm not here to sell you a course. I don't plan on making a course anytime soon. But if you were to ask for a one-on-one session, of course, I'm probably going to charge you for that, because that's my time. You know what I mean? I'm going to be honest with you. I have to put stuff off to the side from everything else that I got going on. And I'm not here to do anything of that sorts. But here's one thing I would recommend. If you're going to jump into the space, make sure that you understand that, hey, you've got to have someone or something that you can go to that can keep you psychologically balanced. And whether that's therapy, because therapy is a good thing for everyone, whether it's your Bible, if you're a Bible reader, because I'm a Bible reader here, or whether it is a book of some sorts. Now, again, even breaking it down, understand that sometimes you actually do have a good strategy. It's not the fact that you don't have a bad strategy. Some of you need to refine it, and some of you have just too much going on. But again, if you're one of those people who has your charts all marked up, if you can see, like, mine's pretty clean, I don't do too much of it, and sometimes not even this messy. I still think this is a little messy to me right now, but markets have been choppy. Well, if it works for you and you have proof that it's profitable and you can show it, like, by all means, it's awesome. I'll clap for you. Keep doing your thing, because if that helps you, because again, it's not that your strategy doesn't work. I suggest you at least stick with a strategy, maybe 3 to 5 months. Some people will tell you 3, but I think just test it a little longer, right? Like, go as deep as even journaling. Like, why did you lose it? Why didn't you, do this or whatever? Go back and reevaluate. Not just, I think the thing that people fail at is when they go back to journal, but they don't even see the fact that, like, okay, cool, I just journaled all this stuff, but what actually came out of it? Sure, you lost a trade, but why? Was it your emotions? Was it the market? Was it actually just a good setup? And maybe it just didn't go right, and that's okay, right? Like, I've had setups and I'm like, man, this is phenomenal. It's great. Everything is in the works for me, and it just reversed. Couldn't tell you why. It did. I'm sure somewhere in the deeper details, there probably is a reason, right? Whether it was news or whether it was an event or something. But sometimes your strategy is just good, but it's not always going to hit. And I think people need to understand, not just that, even coming into this, you're going to need to understand you don't need to trade every day. I'm going to say this because I know so many people that overtrade. You don't need to trade every single day. I know it sucks. I can say this, like, I can have one trade. I think it was a couple weeks ago, I posted it was like a 4K trade or whatever it was, and that's fine. Like, I was like, yo, this is crazy. Being so desensitized to some of the numbers that people make and all this, I'm like, I could get more. But there's people looking for that same amount, man, I wish I had a 4K day, or whatever it is, right? These things are completely different for everyone. And one of the biggest things I'm going to tell you is stop over trading. Just take one or two simple trades. And I know it's really hard because your account is probably not as big as everyone else. And it sucks when you're seeing the big numbers compared to your maybe 30, 40, $100, whatever it is. I promise you, as long as you stick with it, it's better than having a blown account for a couple months. And how about building an account for a couple months? That will make a difference right there. So change the perspective. We're like, I think people come in here, first of all, they're not psychologically ready. They're not emotionally ready. And on top of that, they're just over trading. If you're here to make quick money, I'm sorry. Like, can you get lucky? Sure. You can gamble, whatever you want. But don't come in here expecting that you're going to get this big payout from it. Like, it's not going to happen. Like, take your time. Understand that run trading like a business. If you show up like any regular job or whatever it may be, I think you'll have the opportunity to really grow your account. Like, going through the years and taking time to understand how the markets worked, what different news affects certain things in different pairs. Like, it is going to take time. I don't know how many times I changed my strategy, but I tried to stick with it. And I'm like, I think it even got to a point, I think there was somewhere along the lines too, I taught one of my friends, shout out to Elvin, my good friend Elvin, and my other friend Rashad, who's pushed me to just get into this so much and stay with it after I wanted to quit. Alvin took my strategy. It worked for him really well after I taught him it. He's like, man, this is great. He's getting these wins. I actually stepped away from my strategy and I'm like, wait a second. My strategy works, but why did I go away from it? Why? Because I had a couple losses and I thought it didn't work. And then I went back and I finally stuck to it. So again, your strategy probably does work. I would say just refine it. Really take the time to like journal, understand where all that's coming from and how it works. And then once you're in that point of like, hey, okay, cool, I've got enough data to look at, make a choice. Understand like, hey, maybe run it a couple more weeks and see, okay, can I go live for an account? Maybe do a small amount, right? Don't throw all your money in there again. And this might be one of the things that I think bothers me the most when you come in here. Stop comparing your setups to someone else's. Just because someone is way ahead of you and they're making bigger money and bigger profits, whatever, doesn't mean that they're always necessarily right. You know what I mean? Like, don't try and copy their setup or whatever it is, because sometimes that's not the best thing either. So that's pretty much it. Those are like the simple tips that I got coming in here for a lot of the beginners. Look, stick to your strategy. Make sure you actually test it. Sometimes your strategy actually does work. And it's one of those things that you need to learn that refining it is going to take time. And after you refine it, it's going to take even more time to actually see if you're actually profitable. So a lot of the time, split it in half. Maybe stick to a strategy for 6 months and then maybe see from there. If in those 6 months you feel like maybe 4 of those months you're actually profitable at the end of the month and up in percentage, hey, that's a pretty good percentage in my opinion, right? You don't always have to have like an 80%. Like, understand that even if you're mathing somewhere in there, because I'm not good at this because they had to explain it to me, you could lose a lot, right? But those losses be smaller because you're good at your, again, risk ratio, that sometimes your wins are actually going to outdo that, right? It'll kind of just wash everything away. Some people have something against that. I'm not one of those people. I know my ego still gets in the way where I'm like, no, I want a good percentage to win, a good win percentage. But there's other people who don't care. They're like, look, as long as you're making money and you make your money and you're out, it doesn't matter. I don't care if I'm losing 30% of the time, because I'm keeping my risk really small, so my wins end up being bigger. And again, those are people who get phenomenal entries and stuff like that. So again, I know that there's such a divide when it comes into this market and this industry where people are like this, that, whatever. Let's just keep it real for what it is, y'all. Like, understand that if they're making money and they're doing it good, let it be. Let it be. Like, focus on yourself. I think too many times here in this industry, we tend to focus on other people that we can't even make money ourselves because we're like looking all over the place, right? I'm sorry that there's no magical potion. I'm sorry that there's no magical strat that's gonna get you to where you need to be. But y'all, that is it. Understand, if you come in here, you need to be mentally ready, because it's going to challenge you in ways that you feel you could get, like, I'm not kidding, you could be depressed, you could be sad, whatever it is. I remember rolling and waking up one time and I remember I was like, dang, I really just lost $10,000. I think that's what it was. It was either 10 or 7. I don't really remember what it was, but it was pretty hefty. And I just remember looking at myself, and it was actually a really dumb mistake on my part. I fat fingered a really, really bad lot size, and I'm like, you know what, it's probably gonna go my way, and it did not go my way. So again, this was way back, maybe 4 or 5 years ago. I don't even remember what it was, but it was a really long time ago. And that was a really tough time, right? Because people have a hard time dealing with those kinds of emotions. And luckily, able to work through it with people who support me and friends and all that kind of stuff. So Y'all, I hope you guys kind of enjoy this. This is something maybe just easy introduction, a rant, and then again, I can go more into detail for things. But for now, hey, peace out.